When I was younger and I got access to the internet for the first time, I remember the feeling of it being this mysterious void. I had gotten my very first hand me down computer, and I was typing away in the URL bar trying to see if some website existed. Poop.com, poopy.com, poop.com. I was trying to find them all. And I think it's pretty safe to say that I was a little too young to be surfing on my own. And every time I would hit the site, I would click through all the pages and look for funny pictures. And at the time, I feel like the internet felt like it was infinite. Now, almost 20 years later, the internet is bigger than ever. So, why is it that it feels smaller? Starting as a means to find random websites, my relationship with the internet has changed quite a bit. I was introduced to Google, which made browsing less of a guessing game. And then I found Miniclip and started playing games with friends in the school computer hall. Memories. Then I discovered YouTube, where I've spent too many hours of my life. It seems that with every year, I found myself visiting fewer and fewer websites, but spending more and more time. And I think it reached its height when I became addicted to social media, like everyone else. And my theory is that the shrinkage of the internet goes hand in hand with this evolution, if you will. Looking outside of the www, the feeling of a space shrinking is a feeling that I think we've all felt before. When moving to a new place, it usually feels huge, but once you've lived there for a while, it begins to feel smaller. On my first day of school, it felt like a huge maze, but when I graduated, it felt like I had outgrown the narrow corridors. So I decided to ask ChatGPT, I know, sorry, if this phenomenon has a name. And, perhaps it does, but she couldn't really help me pinpoint anything. But we did agree that it's probably a combination of something called cognitive mapping and habituation. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Seeing things for the first time, you usually take more notice of them and how they relate to their environment and so on. But with time, things are just kind of there. And I think, personally, that is the main reason why the internet feels so small. The problem is not the amount of media out there. We have that in abundance. It's the form in which it takes shape. Every post comes in the same format. Usually it's a TikTok-style vertical video to some viral song that thousands of other videos are using. And I think creativity in all of its forms is great. I applaud people for coming together to create things that inspire them. But for the viewer, it feels familiar. It's been done before. And I think this taps into another aspect of how the internet has changed. Today, websites are more media-driven. When I get shared a link, I'm invited to view a picture, read a text, or watch a video. But when the web was built as individual blogs or websites, a link felt more like an invite to a place, which is really cheesy. But, media makes you think like, who or what is this? While an older site made me question more like, where am I on the web? That's really cheesy, but I hope it makes sense. So, knowing what has changed on the web, I believe that there are two main approaches to making the internet feel a bit bigger again. The first is to break your habits and start exploring, retro style. If you find a recipe you like, for example, have a look around that site, be curious, start bookmarking things that you like. This way, websites will feel less like a short visit that only serves one purpose: to be Googled and forgotten. The second tip is to contribute to the bigger internet yourself. If you already post things online, which you probably do, you might as well post things to your own website or blog. Not only will it become a more personal space, but also a dedicated space for you. So if history repeats itself and we have another Twitter situation, you won't lose your past when you move to the next blue sky. If this sounds good, but you are unsure where to start, I can personally recommend a website called NeoCities. It's a very indie website, where people can build their own small websites, and it doesn't cost anything, which I think is pretty cool. And I've personally had a lot of fun just listening to music and browsing around there, so perhaps you will like it too, I don't know. And if you're feeling extra nostalgic and you like this initiative, I also recommend reading about the Yester web. Really cool stuff. That's all. I hope you feel inspired and perhaps even ready to start a new creative adventure. Uh, Please comment what you think. Do you have any ideas why the internet might feel so small? Perhaps I'm skimmed over something, I don't know. Let's talk. That's all. Okay. Live, laugh, love, and I'll see you some other time. See you.